say, we do a lot of work with legislators at the Capitol, with the media, with numerous folks around the state on a whole host of public policy issues. But that is not why we're here tonight. The James Madison Institute is also focused and has recently begun an initiative on understanding civics, founding principles, and the economics of this great country. And to that end, we're celebrating the 200th anniversary of James Madison, the man, as President of the United States. I have several people I would like to introduce briefly, if they would stand and be recognized before I introduce Daniel Norby. First of all, Daniel Norby from Federal Side is also joining us as a partner, and I'd like to recognize Daniel here, who's with us tonight. Also, Bill Madison, who is our civics education coordinator, who has put this all together. Where's Bill? Bill here. Bill's in the back there. Bill has come on staff at JMI in the last few months. Our civics education initiative really is kind of an ongoing effort. Many of you will see a sign-up sheet that's going around, particularly for the young men, but also for the adults, as we try to reach out and teach about the three branches of government, the founding principles that have made this nation great, the economics and the economy of this country, all of the great debates that are taking place today as you turn on the television. We'll be hosting a number of events throughout the year. In July, we will be hosting an event that looks at Milton Friedman, who was the Constitution July 31st. We'll be hosting that event in September 17th is Constitution Day, which we will also be doing an event, bringing someone in to Tallahassee to speak about the writing of the Constitution, the development of the Constitution, and where we are today in that. So, we'll be hearing more about that as we go throughout the year. I also have two board members that I see that are here from the James Madison Institute. The Institute is a statewide organization. While we're based in Tallahassee, we have board members and members that run from Key West to Pensacola and all the areas in between. And at any one moment, our staff may be in a Miami radio program or Orlando for an event or Tampa Bay for a television appearance or Pensacola for a speech. So I have two board members that I would like to recognize. Stan Marshall, who's here, sitting back here, founder of the organization, is here from Tallahassee. And Fred Lindmarks from Orlando is here with us tonight. Fred, thank you. We have about 18, so they're quite known who's going to be here. I'd like to ask Daniel Norby to come forward now and introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you, Bob, and good evening, everyone. As Bob mentioned, my name is Daniel Norby. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Law Steve and Mullen. I'm the president of the Federalist Society of Tallahassee Lawyer Jack. It's a tremendous privilege for the Federalist Society to be partnered with the James Madison Institute on tonight's commemoration of the life and influence of James Madison. With its programs, JMI brings a critically needed perspective to the battle of ideas here in Tallahassee. Although the Federalist Society is composed principally of lawyers and law students, JMI's approach to the policy debate arises from similar principles to the founding principles of the Federalist Society, that the state exists to preserve freedom, separation of governmental powers is central to the Constitution, and that it's emphatically the province and duty of the judiciary to say what the law is and not what it should be. Hopefully we have the opportunity to collaborate on other programming as JMI continues its civics education initiative. One final point of similarity between our organizations, of course, is that the founding father featured on the logo of the Federal Society on the backs of the programs here is none other than James Madison, so I think that's appropriate as well. And on this 200th anniversary of James Madison's inauguration as president, we're fortunate to hear tonight from a renowned scholar of the American founding of James Madison. Our speaker, Dr. Charles Kessler, is a professor of government at Claremont McKenna College and a senior fellow at Claremont Institute. From 1989 through 2008, Dr. Kessler was the director of the Henry Salvatore Center for the Study of Individual Freedom in the Modern World. Dr. Kessler has also served as vice chairman of the advisory can be credited both to his contributions as an editor, as well as to the enduring power of the ideas of Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and our subject tonight, James Madison. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Charles Guest.
Delighted to hear thanks for going so well with Amazon. I would like to begin by thanking you all for coming this evening and expressing special thanks to Bob McClure, the president of the James Madison Institute, and to Bill Maddox, who's been working with me on this trip. It's good to see Stan Marshall on the night when we were discussing the founding father. It's good to acknowledge the founding father of the James Madison Institute here with us this evening. And I want to express also some special and warm thanks to Dan Morby for his gracious introduction and for bringing out the Federal Society troops this evening. A think tank like the James Madison Institute or even the Federal Society, which is a more non-traditional kind of think tank, you might say. These organizations do terrific work in a free society like the United States. They fill a gap which is created in part by the fact that colleges and universities have a particular political coloration sometimes which tends to exclude voices from the other side. And think tanks are a wonderful pluralistic device in our society to hear other sides of the argument that you might not hear in your classrooms, perhaps not even in high school, but certainly all too frequently points of view you won't hear in college. And James Madison Institute, I think, does yeoman work in this regard and is certainly to be praised. Well, our subject tonight is twofold: James Madison and civic education. Madison's presidency began 200 years ago. That's you might say, the anniversary that we're celebrating. But with presidents, it's always an interesting question: what do you do after you've been president? Where do you go? How do you spend your time after you've climbed to the top of the greasy pole of politics, slid down, and have to spend the rest of your lives doing something else? This is a problem that Bill Clinton and George W. Bush and other living ex-presidents have today. It was a problem that James Madison and his close friend and neighbor, Thomas Jefferson, had in the early 19th century. What did they do after they were president? Well, one of the most important things they did in their post-presidential years, both of them together, was to